of George Floyd. It was seen by everyone on camera, and the way he died, it was almost execution style. And to see it play out like that, the first thing that came to my mind is his parents. And no parent wants to outlive their child, first of all, but no parent wants to see their child begging for mercy, and somebody having no regard for life as they're on top of them, then the whole world can see this happen. I just felt so bad for their family to have to watch that, and that'll always be in their minds as they go forward. They'll never be able to get that out of their minds, just as a lot of us will never be able to get it out of our minds. And I think that's one of the reasons for the outcry, for the rage, for the pain that you see in the country, not only by black people, but by a lot of different races. And it's really started a movement, and it started a movement that's long overdue. And I hope this movement is the one that really gets some change going in our society as far as how police treat people of color, justices that happen to people of color in these communities all around the country. And there has to be a lot of changes, and hopefully this is something that makes that happen. Unfortunately, for the Floyd family, it had to be this.
Right. You have you said you have a 13-year-old son. How have you been able to deal with him, talk to him about everything that's happening and everything that's going on in the country and dealing with race issues? Have you been able to communicate with him and talk to him about the police and all of this?
Yeah, that's been the tough part of all of this is, as a young child today, the kids are exposed to so much more than you can try and protect them from because of the telephone and internet and that type of thing. So he's probably hearing a lot of things and seeing a lot of things on the internet. He sees me watching television and watching the news, and you have to make sure that he's getting the right guidance. So I definitely had to sit him down and talk to him about if he's for some reason stopped by the police, even at this very young age, what he should do and what he should not, what he should say, what he shouldn't say, the attitude that he needs to have. And that shouldn't be a talk that I have to have with my son, about how to handle the police, because the police is supposed to be there to protect and serve you, not to be in fear of. And it's too bad that I have to do that, but that's the time that we live in. And so I've been able to have those types of talks with him, and I've also talked to him about the protests and where they're coming from and what they're about, and why there's some bad actors that somehow get involved into these protests and start looting and rioting. So yes, we've had those talks, and I'm glad I was around to be able to have those talks with him, because like I said, he gets a lot of information from a lot of different places, and I'd rather him at least have his father's voice to listen to as he moves forward through this.
All right. Should athletes get involved? We see a lot of actors and athletes getting involved in this particular movement. Should they get involved, or should they just stay in their lane and not be involved in things like this?
Well, I think it's up to the athlete. First of all, they're just citizens just like everybody else in the community. So even though they have a high-profile job, it doesn't mean that they're not concerned about the things that are going on in their communities. And a lot of times they're leaders in their communities. A lot of these guys have foundations where they live or where they play. They're considered leaders because people know who they are, so they have an ability to get people to listen, to get people to be active and move and think and give money and things like that. And if you feel strongly about the subject that you're giving time to, that's the main thing. You want to be educated on what you're doing, so that you come off as knowing and have credibility. And that's the main thing. Don't just get involved because I'm an athlete. Get involved because you really care, and get involved because you're educated about it. So if those are the reasons why, yes, they should get involved, because they do have a voice that might be a little bit stronger than the average person in their community because of their visibility.
All right. Well, I think that's it. I think I've taken up enough of your time. I love that picture behind you, by the way. I think I've taken up enough of your time. What's your favorite? What's the favorite food that you cook that you mess up at home?
Would I mess up?
Yeah.
Yesterday I made some great jambalaya, man.
Oh, you did?
Really good. I don't know. I love whatever that is, and I do like to eat. So I'll make different things. I'll try different things. So there's not one particular food that I can just say that's my go-to.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Anything else you want to add before we go? You gonna get?
No. When is this gonna play?
It's gonna play probably Monday. I'll send her a message and let her know.
Just send me a link to
Yep.
it.
Yep. I'll do that. It'll probably we're gonna break it up into pieces and then run it that way. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then
Okay, I'm glad you know.
yeah, I appreciate you doing this for me. I appreciate it. I didn't think you would get back to me that quick. That quick.
That's all right.
Yeah. So thank you.
Technology.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I appreciate your time this morning. So you take care of yourself. Oh, well, you're going back in the broadcast booth, right?
Yes, sir.
Whenever the season starts.
You guys be safe back there, okay?
You do the same. All right. You take care of yourself. All right. Thank you for your time.
Stay away from the church now.
Oh, I'm not going anywhere where there's a crowd. My house of 5 is it. That's it.
Talking about the president's church.
Yeah, not that one. No. We're not going there.
That's a whole nother story. Right?
That's a whole nother story, a whole nother day. Yeah. All right. Well, you take care of yourself.
Be safe.
All right, you too. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. All right.
My pleasure.
All right. Bye-bye.